Hey, and welcome to map 18 of TNT Evilution. This is Mill, and I'm going to be straight up front with you. This is probably one of my least favourite TNT levels. It's big, it's kind of ugly, and there's a lot of design choices in it that really kind of rub me the wrong way, and we will talk about those as we make our way through the level here. So I've killed all those shotgunners there. We actually want to go into this secret here because this actually brings us to the upper part of this large room here. We want to get rid of these shotgunners as quickly as possible because if we don't, they'll just start shooting down on us and rip our health from us, and this room's already nasty enough as it is. I'm going to hide behind the pillar here and try to get rid of these pain elementals because if I don't, they are going to very quickly fill this room with lost souls, and that's just going to chew away at my ammo. So it's just easier to stand here. I'll lose a bit of health, but it's nowhere near as much health as I'd lose going down there to fight all those things in person. When we go through that teleporter, we get the rocket launcher, which will be insanely useful on this level. I'm going to quickly go around the outside of this central room here and kill the spectres. So my problems with this level sort of begin and end with, let's go in this teleport quickly. So we've got the super shotgun, that'll make things a lot easier as we move through the level here. I just don't like this level. I've never jived with this level, and I have so many bad memories of getting stuck on this level because of those design choices. The reason I'm coming this way, by the way, is because with the super shotgun it's quite easy to take out all the Barons of Hell in this room. There's no reason for me to kind of, leave this longer than I need to. It's best to get rid of these guys as quickly as you can, as well as the bony boys in the cage over there. If you leave it too long, you might have not much health or not much ammo, and trust me, this room can be an absolute pain if you leave it too long. So grab the rocket box there. Now you can see we've been shot. There's actually a fake wall up on the roof there. We'll be heading up there later on, but trust me, there's some chain gunners in there, and the reason that we don't want them shooting at us is because they'll very quickly take our health off us. Those bony boys are dealt with, which is good. They can't actually get out. We have to actually go in there later on. There's an archvile here who is pretty nasty. That's why I was trying to keep the Barons away from this door, because there's always a chance that they will get revived by the archvile, and no one likes that. There's another Baron behind this door here. Love that they've left the texture there for the switch, like completely uncovered at the top, so it kind of ruins the illusion, but hey, what can we say? That switch opens that door there. We won't be going in there for a little bit, but this level's kind of interestingly designed because there's two. You can technically finish the level without getting all the keys, because there's two ways you can kind of approach the main puzzle of this level, and we'll be talking about that as we kind of get closer to that. But we're coming back to this room here because we need to get rid of these arachnotrons. So one thing that annoys me, this floor doesn't hurt, so this is not a pain floor. And it looks like a pain floor, so the first time you come into this room, you're probably going to be like, I don't really want to walk on that floor. And, it's one of those things where different level designers will use textures in different ways, and you end up kind of feeling a bit confused because one level you'll get hurt on a floor like this, and on another you won't get hurt on a floor like this. So what we're going to do, we're going to head up here. You have to head inside here to get that blue key we saw on the pillar there. Now, when you hit this switch, it opens this room up. Do not go into this room unless you are fully prepared, because it's a very interesting trap, probably the best part of this level, but the best way to handle it is to actually come out this way and grab this invulnerability right over here. Now, when we grab this invulnerability, we have 30 seconds to run back across the level, and we can activate this trap here. There's an archvile that's going to teleport in, and I killed it instantly. So you're supposed to use these teleporters here to battle this archvile. It can basically lock on and get you as you're moving through the teleporters, so it makes this room kind of difficult, but if you're very lucky, like I was there, you can actually telefrag it before it even does anything. So it's worth kind of keeping that in mind for this room. The invulnerability wasn't really needed, but, you know, safety first and all that. We've got our hands on the blue key, so we can go in both directions. The red door is this way. So these walls are going to open up in a bit with some chain gunners inside. There's a bunch of lifts here. It's totally worth going up these lifts if you need ammo, because even though there's a few enemies up here, there's also a bunch of health. So it's definitely worth your time. Take you down. So you can see into that next room over there. I've already taken these guys out. Like I said, there's plenty of health here, so there's no reason to kind of be scared of going up these lifts. As long as you've got the ammo to deal with the chain gunners, you should do pretty fine. So now we're going to head off in this direction. This is the lift you need to take to continue the level. And we're going to talk about this mess. This monstrosity right here. So this is a puzzle that I'm sure has stumped, bemused and angered many. You have to hit those switches in the middle. There's 4 of them. And the idea is there's 4 different little puzzles around this, which you kind of have to finish in order to hit the switches. Now you can cheese this, and when I play this I usually will cheese it, but because we're going for 100% kills on this level, I am going to cheese it but then show you how to sort of do it properly so you can see it both ways. So you can see these puzzles generally just tend to be, oh look, there's Barons of Hell, kill them, and then the switch will allow us to gain access to that central puzzle. I'm going to quickly dive in here because there's a soul sphere, the health bonus at the end of this, and I do want to grab it. So as we make our way back through here, the chain gunners I mentioned previously are now alive and active, so we do have to be a bit careful of these guys. So this is a nasty little trap, because if you're running back through here, it's very easy to get sort of swarmed from behind with all these chain gunners and lose a lot of health, if not all of your health. But if you know they're here, you can kind of prepare for them, so it's not that bad. But yeah, this puzzle is kind of infamous in Doom circles because it's a very large puzzle. It's like a not very nice puzzle to beginners. It's a very obtuse puzzle, I'd argue, at points. So you can see here that that section in the middle there has dropped down. So that's how it works. But you can actually cheese it. If you sort of line yourself up here, you can just sort of hit the switches from the side without ever having to do the puzzles, which I'm not saying you should do it that way, but I am also saying that this puzzle is not fun at all. So you choose whichever way you want to experience this level. So we're going to talk about this one though. So you come into this room and you're like, okay, how do I get up to that switch? Is there like a staircase or something? No, the answer is you shoot that. Yeah, so for some reason, the person who designed this level decided they wanted to make shooting walls an essential pathway. And so you've got to shoot that wall over there. And it's so frustrating because I'm going to tell you, like, as a kid, I got stuck there. I got completely stuck on this level, and I'd run around the level looking for switches that, you know, could raise the stairs there, because that's what you kind of think, because that's what it looks like. It's very poor design in my opinion, and the fact that like TNT doesn't sort of train you to do that, like John Romero's Sigil goes out of its way to teach you how to shoot walls, you know, so that you know that's an essential thing. The fact that TNT doesn't do that and then it sort of drops this in like halfway through the WOD is pretty unforgivable in my opinion. And yes, I did just rant about that for 3-4 minutes. It is worth the rant. But yeah, this puzzle, absolute mess, absolute monstrosity, and it just adds to the reasons I don't like this level. And I hate to be negative, I don't like to be super negative on these levels, but this level has just never gelled with me. It also doesn't help that 3 of these puzzles are basically shoot the barons, get the switch, but then the 4th one is shoot the wall that's not really highlighted or indicated in any way. If the light in front of it pulsed, if it did something to sort of indicate, you know, that it was unique, then sure, I'd be all over it, but it's not. And yeah, I don't have nice things to say about this puzzle. We've got the yellow key anyway, so it's all sorted. But unfortunately, that is not the end of this level's awkward design choices. So we're going to head through the blue door here. Now we don't actually have to come this way, but it's worth coming this way just to sort of see what this level has to offer. We're going to head up here, and this leads to that secret area I was mentioning earlier, where the chain gunners were shooting down on us from behind that fake wall. So you can see the fake wall is very well hidden, and that'll probably catch you out the first time you come on this level. So this room here is interesting. You can see these cages sort of dotted around. They're going to be filled with enemies very soon. There's a mancubus in the pit here. Now, let's kill you first. What's interesting here is that this looks like a death trap. So like if you drop down there, it looks like a death trap, but no, there's actually a fake wall here with a megasphere behind it, which is lovely, but also a bit like, oh, if someone falls down there accidentally, they're gonna die. Oh no, they're not. So you actually have to hit this switch here, which I'm gonna go on another slight rant here. I hate it when levels do that, when they hide like essential switches in like really obtuse places, because it's not super obvious that there's a switch behind that pillar. And so for many players who come into this level, they may not even see it, they may not even think to go looking for it there, because unless you sort of walk past it, you don't see it. And again, it's another barrier in this level where it's so needlessly not signposted. They could have easily signposted that, and they didn't. And anyway, heading up here, it seems like one of the traps up here hasn't triggered. There's actually a pretty nasty trap with a bunch of chain gunners in the wall that come out. I'm trying to see if I can trigger it. I don't know what I've done to not trigger it. I think I may have broken it by hitting the switch a bit early. So I'll come back to that at the end of the level, I think. But we're now going to head to the yellow door here. And the yellow door is probably the most memorable part of this level, other than the puzzle. But that doesn't mean it's great. So this is another area where you have to shoot a wall to progress. And again, would not have a problem with this, but it's not very well signposted. You have to come over here and shoot this random bit of wall, so it wakes up all the enemies, which, you know, fine. And then you come over here and hit the switch. But I'm just going to say this: if you want me to shoot your wall, you have to telegraph it. You can't just kind of drop it randomly in level 18 going, hey, this the essential way forward requires you to shoot a wall. Because let me tell you, that feature is underused in the retail versions of Doom, and it's a bit cheap to sort of drop it there and just expect it to kind of be accepted, because it really drops this level, in my opinion. It really drops this level. So you can see there's a cyber demon there. Now the thing is, we could take him on ourselves, but the best shout is to try and let the Hell Knights do some of the heavy lifting for us. Now I don't mind this encounter, because I actually kind of like that there's a bunch of enemies sort of spawning in, and they're all kind of dangerous in their own way, so there's quite a nice variety going on here. You've got your Hell Knights, you've got your Caco Demons, you've got your Lost Souls who are just there to be an absolute nuisance, all wrapped up with that Cyber Demon who's pretty much trying to use us as target practice. So while he's sort of targeting the Hell Knights around the room, I'm using that as an opportunity to sort of target him safely. You can see there's a bunch of enemies over this side. You can see there's some more rockets here for us. So the Cyber Demon's really pissed everyone off here, so everyone just seems to be wanting to go after him. Let's see if we can get him down here. Yes, my plan's working a treat here. The Hell Knights have sort of not taken to him well, and he's just blown up. So I do recommend trying to get the Hell Knights to do some of your bidding there. It'll save you for a bit of ammo, and there really isn't that much cell ammo on the level. So, you know, unless you save it all for this fight specifically, you know, it's probably a good idea to get some infighting going. So this is the end of the level, but as I mentioned previously, it seems one of the traps hasn't triggered. Now, I'm not sure why it hasn't triggered. Maybe I didn't hit a switch, or maybe I didn't walk over a line dev or something that was necessary. It might have broken, but I do want to quickly just show it off while we're here. So you can see there's a bunch of chain gunners in the wall here. So the idea is they're supposed to kind of come into that central area of all the switches and just kind of be a nuisance. No idea why that didn't trigger. I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me I didn't do something. But yeah, I think we can finish the level here. Normally I wouldn't do that kind of thing. That's pretty nice. Again, I really want to like this level. I really want to say this is a fun, exciting level, but it's not. For me, the design choices in this level just really hurt it. Like, I went on that long rant about the shootable wall, and I don't feel bad about it, because in my opinion, when you're making a level for a retail version of Doom, if you are not signposting a mechanic like shooting a wall, like well in advance, and yeah, okay, there's been one or two occasions when it has been used in TNT, but not for essential parts like that, it just doesn't work in my opinion, and I hate it. And then I hate that they do it again at the end of the level with that little wall. And then the level itself just it's big. It's not particularly great looking because it's a big brown level. I just don't like this one, and you know, you can see by the fact that it took like 17 minutes to get this one done. I just think it's too big, and I just think it's too ugly. But if you like this one, let me know in the comments, and thank you very much for watching.